kittens? This is Joe from Drunken of the Sun, giving you the whole new segment, Double Vision, where Tom gives his take, and then I give my take on a certain topic, or vice versa, because we're gonna pass each other the topic. So, Tom started this week. He gave me the topic, Tiger King. Now, Tom warmed me up to the documentary series Tiger King, and I hadn't heard of it. I had no idea what it was or what he was talking about. He just sent me a text one day and was like, "Hey Joe, I know you like documentaries. You gotta check out Tiger King." And I was like, "Oh, all right, I'll check out Tiger King." And I couldn't believe it. Like, it's hard for me to even describe what goes on. And I feel like the best way for me to do that is to introduce you to the characters first. So first and foremost, you got Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Now this guy, he's got 180 some tigers. I think by the end of it, he's got like over 200. He lives in Oklahoma. His place is pretty fucking big. He's got people there, kind of breeds tigers. He's a very unique person. And one of the most unique things about Joe is you learn that he convinced 2 straight men to marry him. Now, he's homosexual, he's gay, but he convinced 2 straight dudes to marry him, which is one of the wildest facts of the whole fucking show. Is like, how the fuck do you do that? I think it was the meth, but it must have been some pretty fucking good meth to have that happen. And he's got an arch nemesis. He'll never let you forget the name of his arch nemesis in Florida, Carol Baskins. We'll get to her later, but she's another one of the main characters of Tiger King. Now, Joe, he's got a couple of cool people that work with him. Saf, she's like one of the keepers, and a guy named Eric. And both of those are those 3 are some of my favorite characters. There's also a third guy that I really like. I didn't write his name down, but he's missing his legs, but it wasn't because of tigers. It wasn't because of tigers. But, that's his side. That's Joe's camp. Those are the main people in Joe's camp. You got Joe, Saf, Eric, and the no-leg guy. And then you got the next character I want to introduce you to is Doc Antle. Now, Doc Antle, he runs a similar tiger park. His base location is out of North Carolina, though. I'm not sure how many tigers he has, and I'm not sure how many wives he has. He also is like a polygamist and has like multiple spouses, supposedly. And at one funny point in the documentary, they ask everybody in the show, "How many wives does Doc have?" And when it gets to Eric, this is why I like Eric so much. When it gets to Eric from Joe's camp, he says, "I don't give a fuck." so spitting lines like that makes you a good character. But anyways, back to Doc. Another fun fact about Doc is I feel like he runs a cult. He gets a lot of women to work for him, and the best way for you to rise up in rank at his zoo is to fuck him. And I don't know, there's yoga shit going on there, yoga cat trainers, and dog fucking people to raise up the ranks and shit. Like, I don't know. And then you get to Carol Baskins. Carol Baskins supposedly runs a legit tiger rescue down in Florida. And there's a lot of speculation around her second husband, where a lot of people think she killed him for money and fed him to the tigers because he disappeared off the face of the planet. Like, nobody knows where this motherfucker went. So that's her, and she's like all about animal rights, and I guess PETA might be kind of okay with her. I don't know their history. They hate Joe. They probably hate Doc Antle. It's Antle or some shit like that. And I don't know what their stance is on Carol Baskins. But she doesn't seem like, none of these people so far seem super legit or super, like, not criminal. They all seem to be criminals so far. And the biggest criminal of all is the last character we meet. Guy by the name of Jeff Lowe and his wife. Bunch of fucking con artists. Like, he's got some tigers and shit too, and he gets turned on to the whole thing, just trying to get someplace to put some of his tigers. Because this motherfucker takes tigers to, like, Vegas and shit, and shows these chicks tigers, and him and his wife fuck these chicks because they showed him tigers or some shit. Something along those lines. And I'm, like, seeing these pictures of these hot-ass chicks, and I'm like, if you fuck this gross-ass looking motherfucker just to pet a tiger, I never want to touch that. You're what the fuck? Because the dude is not attractive. Jeff Lowe has like this, his chin kind of looks like Friar Tuck to me. Like, this soul patch area is like shaved and super fucking shiny, and then there's like a little bit of hair going around the outside of his chin. It was like if it's the top view of Friar Tuck's head or some shit. And he just comes across as a slimy ass motherfucker, and he fucking, it's the end of Joe Exotic, basically. But anyways, it follows Joe and Carol's fight. Joe does a lot of outlandish shit, protesting outside of Carol Baskin's Tiger Refuge and stuff. And he has like an internet TV show where he bashes Carol like 90% of the time. And then they get into this legal dispute because Joe uses basically her logo. Because what Carol had done, she got a lot of money from killing her husband, right? So what she had done is ensured that if you searched Google, the first thing that popped up, if you were looking for Joe Exotic Zoo, was like this page that talked about like all his crimes against these animals and shit, and how abusive he is and whatever. And so if you're looking up Joe Zoo, that's all you find. And then you could find hers real super easy. So what he did was he changed his name to Big Cat Rescue, which was Carol's thing. And then it made this whole lawsuit. And that's basically the biggest mistake that Joe did. But there's all kinds of fucking crazy shit. Like, there's fire. Like I said, there's gay polygamy with straight dudes. There's Jeff Lowe fucking chicks for tigers. There's Carol Baskins killing her husband. Like, there's a rat there towards the end that, like, records everything. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. The whole thing is, the whole downfall of Joe was, like, the lawsuit basically ruined him because she was taking him for all he fucking had. And he started destroying shit and blowing shit up because he was like, come get it, Carol, bam, and blowing shit up. And, so Jeff Lowe comes around. He supposedly got a fuck ton of money, right? I don't think he's got a dime. And, he was going to help Joe. And so Joe gets sued because of that, logo thing. And Jeff comes along, and he's got this money, and Joe thinks he's got an ally. So he's all like, oh, sweet. No, Jeff fucks him over, because this is why I think he fucks him over. Joe would have never would have took action against Carol Baskins physically to kill her. I don't think that would have ever happened. But when you got somebody egging you on, when you got guys planning, when you got guys talking, when you got guys saying, oh, I'll do it for this much, or whatever, like, I think they trapped Joe into being like, okay, I'll give you some money to hire and kill Carol Baskins for me. Well, these assholes are trying to fuck Joe over the whole time as it was, so they turn him into the FBI, basically. They take all the information, show him, and they get Joe on murder for hire. And I think that's fucked up, because I don't think that Joe would have ever done that. I think Joe was all talk. Like, if Carol Baskins would have stopped the lawsuit, and if he wouldn't have done that logo shit and everything, he would still be there. He'd still be living a dream. But now he's in jail. He got a sentence of 22 years. But I don't think he's going to serve it. He's got a lot of dirt on a lot of different people, and by the end of the episode, he's all like, just giving it. He's like, here, I got this on this guy, and this on this guy, and here, and I think he's gonna do a lot of shit that's gonna get his sentence reduced, or he's gonna get out. But in my opinion, I feel like the dude's already been punished enough. He's lost everything. He lost his straight husbands. He's lost all his fucking tigers. He's lost his fucking zoo. He's in jail. Like, he's got nothing. And I feel like he's been punished enough. I feel like that motherfucker needs to be set free. So, it's just wild. There's a lot of shit that happens in Tiger King. And I'm not even, I can't go over it all. There's so much. Like, that's the gist of the story. But if you feel like I ruined it, I really didn't. I really didn't. Because there's like so many things that happen and so many different side characters. And just, it's just wild. It's just the wildest thing. It's one of the wildest documentary series I've ever seen. It's like, I don't even know. You gotta see that shit to believe it, dude. You gotta see that shit to believe it. This was my double vision on Tiger King. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm not exactly sure what Tom did because we don't watch each other's stuff. He's recording his now and I'm recording mine. So, this was mine. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you watched Tiger King because it was pretty fucking amazing. And join us next week for another double vision, where I'm going to bring to you I guess the other thing that's on everybody's on mind now is coronavirus and quarantine. Our thoughts. It's wild shit right now. But that's it for this double vision, guys. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and of course right here on YouTube, a home of Drunk Under the Sun. Catch you next week. See ya.